Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back again with another edition of Felons Talk. Excuse me. Today I'm going to talk about a guy named Larry Vaughn. Larry Vaughn. They nicknamed him Sid Vicious. Larry is right now, he's about 71 or 72 years old. He came in the prison system pretty young, back in the early 70s. And he caught a murder case in Terre Haute. And a guy named Gopher Cantrell was his last name, and Ronald Shepard. The three of them killed this guy over. The reason they killed him was because the guy allowed a black guy to fuck a white sissy who he was supposed to be watching over, while the sissy's old man was in the hole doing 30 days for a dirty urn. And this they found out that he had let this black dude fuck the sissy, and they felt some type of way about it. And what happened was Larry got in a fist fight with the guy, and while he was fighting him, Shepard stabbed him a bunch of times. It killed him, and really, Gopher didn't have much to do. He was just on the sidelines saying, kill him, something like that. But the three of them got a life sentence, right? This is what they got it for. Anyway, Shepard went on to commit a couple other murders. And one he was tried for, and I believe it was overturned, involving one of the French Connection murders that happened in Atlanta. I think Herbie Sperling paid him to kill that dude. What was his name again? Dominic Orsini. Yeah. Anyway, Larry was in Marion, and he was in the control unit. I don't remember what he was in there for, but he brought a bunch of hacksaw blades with him over to the control unit, and those blades were the blades that were used to cut the wreck cage and a bunch of other stuff. Well, Tommy used those blades to cut the cage when he killed Cadillac. Anyway, to make a long story short, Larry became very good friends with Barry Mills. Really good. They were the best of friends. What it was, Larry had one of those personalities that people just kind of liked him. He just had one of them personalities. But I used to keep my eye on him because I didn't think he was just my opinion, right? I thought, man, I saw something in him that wasn't 100% whatever. You know what I mean? I can't really explain it. And it turned out to be true. As the key turns, the guy that makes that video mentions Larry in one of his videos. He doesn't do it. I don't think he's done a whole video about Larry Vaughn. I don't think he's done a whole in regards to him personally. But in one of his videos that he's talking, he managed to say that Larry was a big Aryan Brotherhood snitch. That's what ended up happening. He became a big snitch. There's no real rhyme or reason why that happened. I think he just kind of got scared because so many people were getting murdered, and his best friend Barry Mills was behind all these murders and stuff, right? For instance, I remember I was telling you about Jack Callison, the murder. I said I was going to do a story about that, right? Well, here it is. Jack Callison got killed by some black dudes. All right. According to Larry Vaughn, and I'm taking it on his word here because I kind of believe what he's saying. All right. There were some racial tensions, okay, and the blacks were like really, they wanted something, they wanted to move on somebody and shit, they really felt, they needed to even up the score or whatever, you know what I mean? So Barry said, well, listen, you kill this dude Callison. He's not with us. Kill him, okay? And Callison was kind of a racist dude anyway, like he'd been known to spit the N word out, without any problem, right? Barry tells Larry Vaughn, go get the big boy, knife, big knife. That's what they call it, the big boy. It was a bone crusher. So Larry went and got it, gave it to Barry, and Barry turned it over to the black dude. And the black dudes went in his cell and stabbed him to death. Uh, yeah, I think maybe you've heard, excuse me, you've probably heard John Greshner talking about how the guy was saying, wait, wait. And then they were trying to kill him. And they said, no, we're not waiting. We're killing him. Anyway, that was the guy. That was the guy right there. And a lot of people might be surprised to hear that Barry would do that he would actually provide a weapon and for a black person to use against a white person. But I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Uh, Even when we got our murder case, man, Barry was like, "Why didn't you come and get me? I would have helped." Like it had nothing to do with you, Barry. Barry wanted to get his hands in as many murders as he could. Barry was bloodthirsty, man. I mean, he had his own like he had at least 3 homicides where he was hands on. Like he was there, he was physically involved in the murders, right? At least 3. The one in Quentin and the 2 in Atlanta. Those are a given right there. And there may have been others. He was definitely instrumental in other murders. For instance, Puppet, when Puppet was killing a Buzzard, he was instrumental in that. He was instrumental in getting Puppet killed after that several years later. And there were other murders that, Tommy Lamb's. I mean, there were just other murders. I'm not familiar with every single one of them because I wasn't around all the time when they happened, But he was just he lived and breathed to be involved in murders. He thrived on bloodshed, man, and it doesn't surprise me that he would provide a knife to a black man to kill a white man. It doesn't surprise me at all. Whatever you might have thought about the Aryan Brotherhood, this is the truth right here. This is who Barry was. Okay. Yeah, that was amazing. Anyway, eventually, Larry Vaughn fucking rolled over right after that. After Puppet killed Buzzard, and he told on that murder, and that was one of the murders. So they get him out of Marion. They send him up to MCC Chicago. All right, they put him up on the 11th floor. They don't know what to do with him right now. Right, they're looking to decide. He's going to be a witness in the case. Eventually, they were going to put him in a witness protection unit, and they did put him in a witness protection unit. But wait just a second. While all this shit is happening, There's some guys in Oxford, Wisconsin. Matthew Granger, look him up. And there was another guy with him. Uh, and they decided they wanted to get into the Aryan Brotherhood. All right. And somebody told them that if they killed a police officer, a guard, they could get into the Aryan Brotherhood. They believed this, right? And instead of looking to go home and finish their sentence and get the fuck out of prison, they wanted to get in the Aryan Brotherhood. That meant more to them than their freedom. So what they did was they took a knife and they took one of them took a knife. One of them had like a one of them things you kill. Fire extinguishers, and banged the cops' brains out while they were stabbing them to death. Okay, and they all went to the hole, and they shipped them to MCC Chicago to get them out of the institution, and they left them up on the 11th floor while they were, getting ready to indict them, and also to put them through the process to get them into the Marion Control Unit. There's a process that you have to go through, and so they were waiting on all that, and they just happened to be there at the same time that Sid Vicious, Larry Vaughn, was there. Now, they don't know Larry's a big rat yet, okay? They don't know that. But Larry meets him, and Larry's like, listen, man, like, I know I know Barry, I know him well, I'm his friend, this and that. And he told him all the stories, man, about being in Marion with, Barry, and their eyes got all big, and they were like, oh, really? Oh, really? Oh, really? So Larry said, listen to me. You really want to get in the Aryan Brotherhood? Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to make sure you do. Okay, you write me a letter telling me everything you did to that cop, right? And I'll take the letter and I'll take it to the government, and I'll show the government that you wrote this, and I'll testify against you, and they'll give me a parole. Then I can be on the outside, and I can, help Barry and this and that. And when you do that, you let Barry know, and that you did this, and he's going to welcome you with open arms, man, because you helped me. And these fucking guys, they bought it, man. I mean, first of all, they were stupid. They were very gullible kids anyway, because how the fuck are you gonna like kill a cop thinking that you could get into the Aryan Brotherhood just by doing that? Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you just finish your sentence and go home? Why would you want to spend the rest of your life in prison to be a member of the Aryan Brotherhood? Does that make any sense? But that's what they thought, and that's what they wanted. So Larry he just exploited these fucking lames. I've actually seen copies of the fucking letter, man. Because at the trials, you get the discovery motion, and people made like hundreds of copies and passed them out all over the fucking place. Yeah, yeah. And they fucking wrote this fucking letter. Barry took it to the fucking cops. He said, hello, here I am, man. Look what I got for you. In addition to the puppet murder that he was already testifying on, right? And listen, the fucking government loved him. Loved him. Okay, so then they open up the 6th floor of MCC Chicago. The 6th floor of MCC Chicago was the witness security program. Only WITSEC prisoners could be there. So there was Baby Huey. There was, he was testifying against all kind of shit in Marion. Bernard Welsh, same thing. Sonny Burkett was there. Bobby Rochelle was there. Larry Vaughn was there. There was a couple other fucking people that were there too. I don't know who all was there. Larry still has some of these fucking hacksaw blades. He'd been carrying these motherfuckers around for years, right? He still had little pieces of them. He gave the blades to Baby Huey and Bernard Welch, and they cut this, piece out of the fucking window, and they used the buffer cord, and they went down to the ground, and they escaped. They were on the 10 most wanted list for about 5 or 6 months and shit. Anyway, make a long story short, Larry actually got charged with that for aiding and abetting an escape. He got charged with it, right? The parole board overlooked that and gave him a parole anyway because of what he did in helping them nail the guys for the police officer murder in Oxford, Wisconsin. The bottom line is those guys, I mean, their whole purpose was to get caught anyway. They knew they weren't going to. It wasn't like they were killing the cop because they needed to or because they hated him or anything else. They were doing it specifically to get into the Brotherhood. It didn't make any fucking sense at all. That's what they wanted. So, and the parole board loved Larry and they let him out. He did like 17 years total on, well, he had 10 years coming in and he got that life sentence in Terre Haute. So he did about 17 years. Since then, he's been back maybe, I don't know, 12, 13 times for different like violations, technical violation. A technical violation is when you basically, you either don't report, or you get dirty urines, or it's not, in other words, you're not having any new criminal conduct in the community. You're not catching a new case, no, anything like that. All he was doing was fucking up, not showing up for he probably went on the lam, started getting high, and didn't show up for the parole officer. Finally, they catch him and bring him back, and they give him a year. He did that about 12 or 13 fucking times, man. Every now and then I'll look him up and he'll be back in prison with another out date, because he was originally doing life, The out date is, always like a year, 18 months. So all these were technical violations, right? And so that's the story of Larry Vaughn, man. And Big Aaron Brotherhood snitch. He's still alive as far as I know. He keeps going back, and they keep putting him in Tucson. Tucson is where they got all the big rats, man. All of them. Any rat can walk the line there. Anyone. They had that big rat from New York. I forgot his fucking name now, but he was like he was the one involved with the two police officers. He was, they were on his payroll. He was paying them money. They were committing murders for him and all that stuff. Anyway, he was there for a long time, and he passed away there over the COVID thing. There's other ones there. I mean, I've heard, just any number of high-profile rats, and that's the kind of environment, and it's also a lot of sex offenders. So that's the only type of environment that Larry could like walk the line where he could actually be in general population. But that's it, man. That's the story there. Jack Callison, he was just somebody that, that got used up and thrown away. You know what I mean? Yeah, a real stupid story if you ask me. But that's the story of Jack Callison. It's the story of Larry Vaughn. And if you have a comment or you want to leave a question, feel free to do so. And I'm going to be coming out with another video later today about something that, you know, I think it's about time I did this. You know, there's a dude who has continually, you know, gotten under my, like my skin because I'll do a video about it and you'll understand what I'm talking about. All right. I'll see you guys later.